So Saturday night was Bolton Demolition Derby. And this car here I brought to Bolton. This thing runs amazing. This is my Thrill Show Championship car from 2019. Then it ran Sauble Beach in 2020, 2021. I did not make it to Sauble Beach 2022 because I ended up going to Orangeville with a different car. And this car here, you guys seen me building up to take to a show in PA. But unfortunately, I was going to take it to Bent Motorsports. You know, guys, they showed me their rules. I really enjoyed their rules. I really enjoyed the guys. I hung out with them at Deadman. Seemed to be a great bunch of guys. The rules were quite intense. Not really what I was used to, but you know what I said? I'm going to go look into these rules. So I built this car to run their Bent show. If you guys want to check them out, check out Bent Motorsports on Facebook, or they do have a website. The rules are posted, and I ran it with the amount of plate that they allow, and I took it to Orangeville, and Bolton, and I had a lot of fun with this car. It ran great. My Camry motors are getting a little tired, but this one here, it ran fantastic, and it sounded fantastic, and it had all the power that I wanted. It never skipped a beat. There was 3 stalker cars out there and 3 built Camrys. As soon as the stalker cars kind of cleared out, the more built cars started hitting each other harder and harder and harder. And there was one point where I went a half-decent track shot against another built Camry in the front of it, and I was a little nervous because of how I knew what was done to that car and he knew what was done to this, so we actually slammed on the brakes because we don't want to knock ourselves unconscious, guys. So we let off. We don't want to completely wreck it. It was basically a battle of the tires. Try to outdrive all the other drivers so that we can knock the tires off each other's cars. And because of how solid the front is, both of my tires are still facing straight. I did get some tire shots, but honestly, the car held together great. Honestly, I think this strut's a little bent. That's okay. But the car held together fantastically, but because of my mobility, I was able to keep the back end of this thing moving and off the ground, so I was a lot faster than some of the other ones. The pillars did not really do what I wanted them to do, but now the car is into the gas tank protector and into that baby hard. Look, you can see it folding all the way across. The back window bar is doing its job, making it so I can still see out of the back of the car fairly easily. The factory bumper bent exactly how I wanted it to. The back of this car is going perfect, except for the pillars. They're coming out a little farther than I want. It'd be nice now if I could run some 9-wire up to try to hold the doors, but with the gas tank protected the way it is, it's going pretty good. So because of all the shots with the back of the car, the ratchet strap actually ripped out of the door, and I could feel my seat breaking the gears in the reclining, so that kind of sucked. Not much I could do about it. I started using the front a little more by then, but one of the other cars, when we went motor to motor, something black, I'm not sure what it is, hit and flew 100 feet, maybe 50 feet out of his engine bay. So afterwards I said, "What flew out of your engine bay?" He has no idea what went flying. I said, "Whatever it is, it got yeeted." So something out of his engine bay went flying, and we have no idea what it was or where it went. Second place, 05, his seat broke. He looked like he was in pain. He actually waved me off when it came down to the 2 of us. And I gave him thumbs up and came up and made a love tap just to make sure that everybody knew that I was making the last hit. But he was sore inside the car. He told me that he was having a hard time steering it, no power steering, and he was just exhausted. It was a tough derby. When I got out, I was covered in sweat. I don't do a lot of these no power steering cars, so this was kind of a little bit different for me. But overall, I was happy with the car. I was happy with how it ran. And I really wish I could take this to PA. This derby here was a test for this car, and it was supposed to go to Pennsylvania to these Bent Motorsports guys. They seemed like great guys. The show seemed like it looked like it was going to be unbelievable amounts of fun. They invited me down to go camping with them, and they are the promoters. And it really makes me feel great when a promoter goes out of his way to invite people to his show. And how I actually met these guys is I was at Dead Man, and I was a couple beers deep, and I hadn't eaten for a long time, and they offered me a slice of pizza. And I said, you know what? I will eat that slice of pizza. That's, if you guys ever want to make great friends, just offer them a slice of pizza, because that won me over right on the spot. Shot the shit with them all night, and I was ready to go. And unfortunately, due to some money circumstances and me not being able to get time off work, I can't make it there. But honestly, guys, I wanted to go so bad. I was so excited to go to this show that I built this car and got it ready to go. And now, unfortunately, I can't. And I've done everything that I've wanted to do to it. I have the W-body rad support in the car. I got the front engine cradle in the car. This is a Thrill Show Championship car, and I was ready to go down to PA and show them what us Canadians were able to do. But unfortunately, I can't. And life is a cruel mistress that just likes to ruin things when you're not paying attention. So maybe 2023, if I'm in a better situation, maybe I can go down and I can build a fresh car and learn from my experiences with this one. But as it sits right now, it's probably going to sit here until 2023. Until next year when there's a derby that this thing can run at. That's the problem with building a car like this, with a nice cage, nice gas tank protector, a good bumper, good tires, and a little bit of plate, is that you can't run it anywhere. There's like maybe 5 shows a year here in Ontario, and the Pro Mod stuff here in Ontario, it can't compete because the suspension's not as built as what it could be, but it's got too much plate. So there is places to run it here in Ontario, and they're all about a 3.5-4 hour drive from my house, and the payouts are usually 100% payback. So if you have 4 cars show up and everybody pays $100, you win $300. It's not worth my time to drive 4 hours, 3 hours from my house to let it run. But we'll have to see. I really wish that I was able to make it down to these Bent Motorsports guys. I think that I would have really enjoyed my weekend with them. So Bolton was great. I ended up winning first place. I got to run with a couple friends, meet some new friends, and there was a lady there, a young girl, and she was in the Turf King, I think it was. And it was her very first derby, so I did put a GoPro in her car. Make sure you guys check that out. I like putting GoPros in a lot of these people that have never derbied before, because it kind of gives you something to think about. Like, these people, this is the first time they're ever getting in the ring, and see how they drive, and then put GoPros in cars that I know that the drivers have been around for a while, and you guys can spot the differences and see how they're doing inside the car and see what you guys do inside the car. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you back here later on Zach's Workshop. The car's probably going to sit here until next year. So thanks for watching, guys. See you later. Take care.